Hello and welcome again to Every Dawn. We talked a lot about Aristotle, and I want to slowly come to an end with Aristotle, but there is one more thing about him that I find very insightful and where I think that it is a great point that he has there and that can benefit us really in our lives to keep it in mind. And this is a sentence he says about a shoemaker and a general. And I will read it to you. The man who is truly good and wise, we think, bears all the chances of life becomingly and always makes the best of circumstances. As a good general makes the best military use of the army at his command, and a good shoemaker makes the best shoes out of the hides that are given him. And so with all other craftsmen. And if this is the case, the happy man can never become miserable. So the idea here, I don't know if you could so quickly, grasp the main point, but the idea here is that you can distinguish a good general from a bad general and a good shoemaker from a bad shoemaker by looking at the materials they have available before they start their craft and at the output that they create. Because everybody can make good shoes out of perfect leather. Everybody can win a war if they have perfect troops. But the point is that a good shoemaker, if you are not only a normal shoemaker or a beginner shoemaker, but you are a good and expert shoemaker, the point is that you will be able to make good shoes even out of bad leather. And the point of a good general is that he can win a battle even with bad and hungry and tired troops. So when we talk about life and about happiness, it is not so helpful to always complain about the environmental situation. Sometimes we say, okay, I could perhaps have had a happier life, but my job is so tiring, or but I have to work so many hours, or but I get only so little money. These are indeed bad situations. It is bad to not have enough free time. It is bad to be overworked and tired and to not have enough money. As it is bad, to have only cheap leather for a shoemaker or to have only tired troops for a general. But although these drawbacks are real, what Aristotle wants to say is that they don't necessarily have to reduce our happiness. Because there is one more factor. There is the quality of us as the managers of our own lives. In the same way, like a shoemaker makes a good shoe or could make a good shoe out of bad leather if he is a good enough shoemaker, and a general could win a battle even with bad troops if he is a good enough general. In the same way, I, as a human being, can have a better life than perhaps most people would imagine. Even in a objectively bad situation, because I'm able to make the best use of the resources that are given to me. And this is a very powerful thought. On the one hand, it can be a little daunting because it means that we are more responsible for our lives. We cannot just push the responsibility to the environment and say, my life is so miserable because luck, God, fate put me in a situation where I cannot do anything. This is always an easy way out, it's an easy excuse. If I say, I am the master shoemaker of my life, I am the master general of my life, then it means I'm responsible. If I lose the battle, it's me. It's not the tired troops. If I win the battle, it's also me. And this is the positive side of it, the idea that I can still win the battle, even with tired troops, if I'm a good enough general. And so, practicing my virtues, like Aristotle says, acquiring the skill to lead a skillful life, to apply my virtues correctly, so to get the best result for me and for others, emphasizing the connection between all things so that we can all flourish together, these things make me into a good manager of my life. And if some of this doesn't sound so clear, then go back and listen to the past few episodes where we explained all these things. And now, when I am a skillful manager of my life, I can use all these bad situations optimally and still achieve a good result. And this means that my life doesn't have to be bad because, for example, I'm married to some useless person who is not helpful to me. Or my life doesn't have to be bad because I have only a job at Amazon. Or my life doesn't have to be bad because I'm not earning enough to have a holiday in Thailand. All these things would, of course, be better if they were different. And this is true. But it is still true that it is in my power to improve my skills, to improve my, Aristotle calls it phronesis, my skill of dealing with my virtues and with my environment in a way that's beneficial to all. And then slowly, I will be able to improve my life situation and I get a better life, even if the environment is not helpful to me. And this is a great comfort, right? This means that we don't need to excuse ourselves. We just need to start working on it. We need to grab our life, look at it carefully, make a good plan, exercise our virtues, and go for it and improve it and make it worthwhile. And I think this is something we should perhaps do today. Just look, where is your life limited by environmental conditions? Like a relationship or a job or a lack of money or a location perhaps that limits you. Perhaps you live in a country where the whole country is in a bad state and there are not enough jobs and there is not enough wealth and people are hungry and so on. There are many countries like this all over the world. And if you live in one, again, you might despair. But even in these countries, Aristotle would say flourishing is possible if you just look at the skills that are required and then slowly, patiently try to develop the skills you need in order to become a good general, a good shoemaker, a good manager of your own life. And then you will be able to make good shoes, to win battles, and to achieve a better life for yourself. Thank you, and see you again tomorrow.